Hey everyone, it's Kelly. Welcome to another Use It Up video on what's for dinner. So this is actually 2 weeks worth of meals because I realized I'm a week behind, but also we've just been so busy. So I wanted to put together everything so I can move on to the next project. So the first night you can see we've had our chicken parmesanas with chips and our veggies. So that was a pretty easy meal. And the next night from memory, we were super busy. And so I just needed some oven based food. So we've got the pasties that were there. We've got chicken pie from the freezer that I found dug in there somewhere. Herbert Adam pies from one of the previous grocery shops, and we've got some potatoes that were on clearance. So that's probably the only thing new to the house, but everything else is something that was already here. So that went down really well, doing mashed potato on the side. And you're probably saying, hang on a second, where are the veggies? Well, where are the veggies? The veggies are on the stove. Because I forgot to turn the stove on. I prepped everything, I put the pan on the stove, and I walked away. And I got to serving, I went, oh no. So I put the veggies in a Ziploc bag and I put them in the freezer, and you will see them pop up later. I don't think I filmed them in the actual Ziploc bag, but we did use them within like a couple of days. So the next night we're having a stew because I've got that meat from the bigger piece of roast that we did a couple of meals ago. I got a bag of roast down veggies. I'm pretty sure that's new to the house as well. I just couldn't resist them. I've thrown it all in the pot and it's cooked away there. I love cooking a stew, especially on a colder day. It's really easy. I made some mashed potatoes, and yes, I did cook those. It takes a while to boil. And I've got this lamb ragu pack that I got from Woolworths a little while ago, and that was only like 70 cents, but I bought a whole pile of stuff. So, and then this was the stew that we actually had on our last live when everyone was like, what's for dinner? And that's what this is. So that's how far behind I am. So here my sons had some chicken balls and some chicken nuggets and chips and they were the last of the packets that we've gone through. So we really have using it up with all the little bits and pieces. My son had some frozen corn and some raw carrots pre-dinner because our dinner was taking ages to cook because we've got this beef brisket here, as you can see, and that took way longer to cook than I was expected. It was also completely frozen solid, so yeah, it turned out really well. I just wish that I'd cooked some gravy or something with it because it seemed a little bit dry. But we had a whole lot of leftovers here, as you can see, and so I put them in a container, and hubby had that in sandwiches for lunch, so he said he was really happy with that. It was a change. The next night I have these chicken breast fillets, kebabs, and they are new to us, so because I didn't have any chicken breast fillet in the freezer, which is rare for me. So I did use the can of Canton that we did have, and we've just had our standard chicken and rice for dinner because it's quick and simple. The next night we are having a stir fry because I have a little bit extra time to cook dinner, and I was attempting to be creative. One, to use up the stir fry because I had just found the shredded carrots, so I was going to use that. But also I had this onion, half an onion left over from the weekend from Kira's get together, and I thought, oh, I'll chop that up and use it as a base and do a really good meal. Well, the onion sat there on the bench. I completely forgot about it and just went about cooking as I normally would. I did use up the last of this packet of the cauliflower and broccoli, and I cooked that separately so my daughter and I could have that. And then we also had this twin garlic bread that was one left over again from her get together on the weekend, so it really was a bit of a use it up challenge, which was good. So you can see the veggies that are there. My bowl, I threw in some cashews as well because I really love those, and it was just enough for me, a small serving, but it was just enough. I found this Thai chicken fillets in the freezer, so I pulled them out and I cooked that up to use as a base for our risotto. I've got here a frozen cream. I was a bit stuck in there, so I've stuck it in the microwave and zapped it for 30 seconds just to soften it up a little bit, and of course it's cooked together really well. I've run out of mushrooms for the base as well. My son has decided he no longer wants risotto anymore. There we go. As fast as he said he liked a meal, he no longer doesn't like it, so we're back to his chips and chicken nuggets, risotto balls, whatever he wants to have. So we are in the freezer trying to sort out a few different things, and again, I think I got way too many ideas and in my head, and I just didn't have enough time to organize and plan everything. And I've clearly not stacked this freezer very well, because as fast as I'm trying to pull things out, everything's just falling out. So my plan was to get these chickens and cook them, because I find that one chicken is not enough for us as a family, but two is. And also we would have a little bit of leftover chicken for a risotto or sandwiches, whatever we need. So I thought, okay, let's put that together. They were still frozen, as you saw, so I did allow a little bit extra cooking time, but the night that I did pull them out, they were still very pink around the bones. They probably were cooked, but I wasn't going to risk it. So I ended up cooking them for another half an hour. And so this night we had pizzas instead. I did make a chicken pizza because I did have some leftover shredded chicken from previous thing. So I just didn't film that bit. So we had plan B instead of that. The next night we have had this chicken roast. It's been in the freezer for ages, and I've been trying to use the nights that I don't have Zumba to make a more meal that we have a lot more time and food to put into it. So we just had some veggies with some roasted potatoes. I was super happy with the way this turned out. My son even ate a little bit of the chicken, but of course he just had his own meal as well. The next night we are back to freezer food / oven things. I'm pretty sure that this was a Thursday night and I'd just gotten home from bingo and shopping and everything else. I was just absolutely exhausted, so I just kind of grabbed whatever I could. And also these were all loose in the freezer, and they were driving me insane trying to move stuff around. So yeah, and I could not be bothered cooking veggies, so that's why there is no veggies for this plate. I could not be bothered, and you know what, that's life. So we are finally having a roast. I got this as well from the shop. So this is new, but I couldn't resist the markdown. I actually got it yesterday, but I was too tired and too late to cook it, so I decided we'd cook it now. I can't believe how much the meat shrunk on the bone. The bone stuck up, but it was 3 really good big portions. So I put them all together. I cooked the veggies in with the pan, and then that way they reduced down to make like a stew filling to go over the top. So that was really good. And of course you saw what my son had, his usual. I hope you're seeing a pattern. Welcome to the household of an autistic ADHD family. Do I mind? No. I'm already cooking, so I might as well cook what people want to eat. So the next night I am digging around the freezer again for a few bits and pieces. I found some fish fillets last night while I was trying to dig through the freezer one-handed. So I thought, yes, let's save those for the next night. And I cooked the chicken tenders. There was only 3, but the children aren't really a fan of fish, so that's fine by me, more for us. But it's really good. I'm able to use up those, so that's another thing that's out of the freezer. I'm deciding to go back to an old faithful, which is the chicken parmesanas, because look, wedges. I got wedges in a grocery haul, which you haven't seen yet, so I'm probably giving it away. But I did get this lactose-free cheese, and it's shredded cheese, and I thought, let's use that as a perfect opportunity. And they turned out absolutely delicious, so I'm super happy. This week also was my birthday, so we had Chinese takeaway, and I completely forgot to film any of it. So there was meal 14. So not from my freezer, but still, you deserve a treat sometimes. Speaking of treats, here is our dessert for the week, which is a pavlova that I bought from Coles because it was very worse for wear. It was completely falling apart. So I have deconstructed it and taken it apart and put back the things that people do like to eat, the kiwi fruit and strawberries. I had a banana there, so I used that and decorated it myself, and I am very impressed. Should I say so myself? Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining with me for the past 2 weeks of What's for Dinner, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.